Today I'm joined by Andrea Schruijer, Executive Director of the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority. Ms. Schruijer, thank you for being with us. And to start off, can you give us some background about the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority?
Sure, I would be happy to. The Valdosta-Lowndes County Development Authority was currently named, or in the past, named Valdosta-Lowndes Industrial Authority. And because of the change in economic development and what we do and the different things that we focus on, the board thought that it would be more forward-thinking for us to move our name to Valdosta-Lowndes County Development Authority. But we've been in existence since 1960, a long time here in the community, and it was established to help businesses purchase land, to finance their deals, and to help offset some of the cost of getting their businesses started. And it's transitioned over a long period of time to where we also talk about resources. We help with still the financing and the traditional economic development financing toolbox, but we also try to look outside of the box and be creative and offer resources to our businesses as well.
Okay. And I know that you met recently with the mayor and city council at their annual retreat, and you gave a presentation. What are some of the topics that you touched on during that presentation?
Well, we talked a lot about existing industry and the success that we've had with them in 2014. We talked about prospect development and what we're doing to help grow that list of prospects. We also talked about marketing our community internally and externally, hence why we're here. And then we also talked about our recruitment efforts outside of, or partnership with our region and their regional efforts. And then we talked about a couple of non-traditional economic development items.
And I guess one of those non-traditional ones was the film industry.
Yes.
And we know that that's big in North Georgia right now. What are some of the things that the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority is thinking about to sort of bring that industry more towards Valdosta and help create the jobs that they've brought to North Georgia?
Well, the film industry is definitely a non-traditional target market, and it's fairly new. I mean, it's been in the state of Georgia for a long time, but over the last few years, we've really seen the state of Georgia leap up into the top 1 to 3. They're actually third in the nation for film currently. So we've surpassed New York, and so it's California, Louisiana, and Georgia that are the top 3.
That's
so it's
impressive.
it's exciting, yeah. And so we actually saw it used to be about a $2 billion industry for the state of Georgia, and in the last few years, and I guess in 2014, the economic impact was $5.1 billion in the state of Georgia. So a huge amount of growth. And you know, the jobs that come along with that are high-tech jobs, or high-wage jobs that come with that. So it's a good industry, it's non-traditional, but a community still has to think towards developing product, developing workforce for these individuals, as well as making sure that they have their permitting and zoning areas down to offer for an ease of business here in the community.
Okay. And in addition to the film industry, going back to your presentation, what are some of the things that you talked about? What does that mean for Valdosta in the future, and not just 2015, but in the coming years?
Well, a lot of what we also talked about, without highlighting, you know, we talked about existing industries, we talked about prospect development, but most importantly, we talked about how we need the city's partnership as well as the county's partnership in developing infrastructure. So transportation network is huge. I know that's on the agenda for the Georgia legislative session that we're in right now, but that's a huge issue for our industries to make sure that they can move their product fast and efficient. We also talked about, you know, water and sewer and making sure that those things are in place for when businesses come. We have the capacity on the line and the ability to take care of their needs. And just funding as it relates to moving forward in the future. We talked a little bit about our budget as well and how that works out.
Okay. And just to leave it open-ended here, is there any topic that we haven't talked about that you'd like the community to be aware of?
I would say one thing that I think our community should be really proud of is our existing industries and what the economic impact that they've had on our community. This year alone, just, you know, always from a historical perspective, but from an existing industry, our existing industries created about 700 jobs this year, and we made several different announcements with them. So existing industries compete just as much for that expansion, the capital investment and job growth, as a new industry. And what we look at is we make a huge capital investment into getting them here, and we want to maintain that capital investment so that we maximize our ROI in the future. So I guess I didn't really answer your question about what does it mean for vision-wise. It's making sure that when we're recruiting, we've got product. Our existing industries are thriving, they're healthy. When those new companies looking can call and they have a good story to tell. And so it just means hopefully more opportunities in the future for us to continue growing.
That's always something that's positive to look for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And if you're looking for more information about the Valdosta-Lowndes Development Authority, make sure to visit their website at buildlowndes.com. And stay here on Metro 17. City Focus will return right after this short break.